Okay. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. At Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled Can Black Women Practice Hypergamy? Inspired by BGS for Women's channel and Zoe Williams. Hypergamy is marrying up. Marrying somebody of a higher class or a higher caste in America's in the caste system or class system. And some interesting things were brought up that made me think. First and foremost, most cultures in American society are based out of a patriarchy. Our culture seems to be based out of a matriarchy. And some of the things that were said made me think about the reason why, hypergamy may be a little tough for some. First and foremost is because other groups of people see their men as competent and they have high expectations of their men, and they raise their men to be competent and fulfill these high expectations because they look at the men as useful and valuable in their societies. Now, the other thing is this: that's not the case in our society. There's been this underlying contentment of black men. You can't depend on them. Go to school, get your education. Don't depend on no man. I could do bad all by myself. That type of thing has been permeating for a very long time. So if a guy is of a higher class than you, to some degree, he's still not good enough. He's still technically beneath you, because when I think about caste system, even in our group, we're viewed in our group as beneath. The men are viewed as beneath the women. You get what I'm saying? The women are more valuable than the men. And even when the man is valuable, he's looked at as less valuable than the woman. He could, be successful, bring more to the table, be smarter, but the social caste system that we have sees less value in a competent or successful black male. So how can you practice hypergamy in a situation where you see the men in your group as beneath you? Because even if you marry up in class, you still feel he's beneath you in caste. You get what I'm saying? So that's a difficult situation. And as far as even the caste system, this is why when you can meet a sister who can meet a guy of a different race, and they can be in the same economic space. He could be higher, he could be lower, but they view their caste as higher than our caste. You get what I'm saying? So if you get with somebody who's you're average and they're average, but they're of a different race, you view their social capital as more than yours, so you're marrying up, even if you're marrying laterally, as far as class, or marrying a class below yourself. Using high profile examples, it's like Aisha Tyler, Serena, stuff like that. Like, they wouldn't date or marry a guy of their race who makes less. That's the same argument that came out with who's that, Mary J. Blige. She won't date, talk to somebody who makes less money. But it's probably, if he is black, he has to make more. That's the theory. So can you practice hypergamy when, you know, you still feel like you're socially in a higher caste than the person that is in a higher class than you? I don't think so. You know, not to mention all the little nuances of the equation. Because I think about it in a life, there have been a lot of ladies that I consider myself a pretty intelligent guy. And I've met a few sisters in my time who weren't as smart as me, but they felt like because they were a woman, they were smarter than me just on that. And no matter how many mistakes they made, no matter how many bonehead decisions they made, and no matter how, you know, what kind of situations it put them in, they were still smarter. And they was gonna bounce back somehow. But me as a black man, I just happen to be, you know, habitually lucky in making good decisions. It wasn't because I was intelligent. It wasn't because I was making smart moves or thinking ahead. It was never that. It's because, you know, no, you just got lucky with that one, and you got lucky with that one, and you got lucky with that one, and you got lucky with that one. You know, everything just is all happenstance, and, you know, it's all in the cards. So, and the reason I bring up Zoe and BGS because they brought up there's this power struggle that goes on between men and women where, and it's weird because when they bring up other groups of men and women, this power struggle doesn't exist to this degree. You know, you know, other women aren't fighting with other men to be men in the relationship. It's like, what? Like, but it spills over into parenting. Because I heard Jab talk about this. I heard Kendra make this comment. If you wind up being a single mother and your kid is successful, he's successful because of all the hard work you put in. I worked 2 jobs. I worked so many hours. I invested all this time in my child, and you know, I'm the foundation of this. They wouldn't be successful if it wasn't for all the work I put in. And that's cool. But if your child's a failure, it doesn't, then it has nothing to do with you. It's because, you know, they didn't have a father in their life. This is part of the nuances of the hypergamy. Because you're practicing going up in class and up in caste, but your thinking is no matter who it is, you know, somebody else can be at fault. Somebody else is to blame. You're to blame for your success. Somebody else is to blame for your failures. So if you date up in class and still feel like you're dating down in caste, you're gonna always feel like you're dating somebody, but you married up to somebody beneath you. And how can you practice hypergamy if you feel like you're getting a relationship with somebody that's beneath you? And I don't watch TV like I used to, but back in the day, I remember watching Being Mary Jane early on. And there's a part where Omari Hardwick, like a detective, and his wife was like some political figure. And she was disgusted with him. He was a good detective, but she was a political figure. She made more money. They had a nice house. He's cheating with Mary Jane. But they were in therapy, and it basically came out, you know, you're mad. She was mad because she married below her pay grade. And he's like, okay, no problem. Whatever. Fine. So, and this is the thing that fellas talk about, and the BGS and other people talked about, and Zoe talked about. You know, girls are taught to marry up, but guys are taught at the same time. Don't be with somebody who wouldn't be there for you if if you're not winning. You know, don't commit to a person who wants to show up after all the heavy lifting is done and be like, oh, I love you now. We're raised, that's how we're raised as guys. Like, no. You not, I'm great now. The world sees me as great. Oh, now you want to talk to me? Get the hell out of my face. That's basically, and this is how, part of the hypergamy works in a bad way, because one thing that was interesting was it was like, technically you're raising girls to be hoes because you're raising them to date guys for resources without teaching them the other things that they need to learn, and the other qualities that go along with that. So if you out here being a mercenary or thinking and operating like a prostitute, this is how people like R. Kelly got a harem of women, because everybody's gunning for the resources. Now you got 20 women. This is why they say, the upper echelon of guys have women galore, because everybody's dating hypergamy. Everybody's dating the same guy, asking for that guy to be faithful to them when they all chasing that guy's resources, and that's not going to happen. But for our women to be able to practice hypergamy, you have to see the men as competent, because if you don't see us competent in this race, and you wasn't raised to see us as competent in this race, that spills over to other groups. And sometimes people take advantage of the fact that, you think these guys are more important, or they'll use you, and you don't even, you think you're going to another caste, and you're just a fetish. So anyways, I'm done. Like, share, subscribe. Take care. See you on the next one. Peace.